guys, it's Kelly. Mari and I are back with another challenge this week. We are using art as our inspiration, and I just had the piece of art that I found. I looked on Pinterest to see what struck my fancy, and I believe this is a canvas that could have been purchased off of Etsy. I should have it on my Pinterest board. I pinned a few things under inspiration. So the things that I am going to choose to pull out of this piece of art are some of the colors, the blues, the greens, and oranges, and the circle elements, and it also had somewhat of a watercolor background. So I'm just going to use my Shimmer's Mist and 2 shades of blue and 1 green, and I had that up at the beginning because I don't remember the colors, but I like the colors and I like the mix of them. So for the circles, I had these cut files. They are from Ashley Horton. I want to say they were from a sketch challenge that she and Missy did, and I decided to do a big stash bust on this. The papers that I am using are from Basic Gray. I can't even remember the collection. I think it's maybe Capture or something like that. I don't have much of this collection. I think the only thing that I have is a 6x6 pad that I found probably at Tuesday Morning or something like that for, $2 and just couldn't pass it up. So I am going to scrapbook this photo of my son. My husband took him. This was when he went in front of the judge to get the lecture, and my husband we actually know the judge, so he got a one-on-one lecture about, the responsibility of driving and things like that. So poor kid, it was definitely a little intimidating for him, but we didn't mind, especially, when they're new and getting behind the wheel of a car. So I had to be somewhere with my daughter, and I was so proud of my husband. He took this picture of him and sent it to me, and I didn't even have to remind him, so that was just a nice little thing. So I'm just taking a few layers and putting behind the photo. I like the yellows and the oranges that are also in this collection, and I just tore the bottom edge just to give it a different texture. Now, I was trying to think that I might want something else up top, and I was tearing a few of the 6x6 paper strips, but I didn't really like the fact that it was 2 different ones, and I could have pieced together a 6x6 paper, but I just decided that I was going to keep on and see what else I could come up with. So I am going to mount my photo on some craft foam just to give it a little bit of dimension, and at this point I've decided that I want to stitch around the circles. So I have taken it off camera to my machine and just stitched in white thread around the circles for a little bit of interest. So like I said, this is a stash bust for me. I have these cork pieces. I'm going to be using some from Chamel, and I'm going to be using some from Basic Gray's last collection, and then I'm going to be pulling out some different things from Freckled Fawn. These puffy stickers are from Freckled Fawn, but they were just a little bit off, either in font or the color. So in just a minute you will see that I take those up and I will replace them with something else. And these are like little glitter, not asterisks, not stars, whatever you want to call that shape. I am going to put a couple of those around the page as well, so that I will almost use that package up. And this is another Freckled Fawn embellishment, and there's a circle that says Here and Now, and I'm going to incorporate that as well. I have been on a circle kick for whatever reason, and this art inspired me just to have this conglomerate of circles, and I knew that I think Ashley and Missy had done something similar, and I know it works, and I just thought it would be fun and a good boy page. So I'm going to go ahead and stick down this flare. It is, I believe it's Evalicious. Again, this is from my stash. These are things that I've had in there at least a year, if not longer. And I am just pulling out some wood veneer asterisks as well. I just want to play on that cork, that wood color, and just add a few more embellishments. And when I was looking through my wood veneer, I saw the car. I have a few of the transportation wood veneer, so I thought this is perfect. I am going to use the car, and you know, it's one of those wood veneers that I just didn't picture myself using, but I didn't get rid of it. So I was glad that I still had it in my stash because I thought it made a cute little embellishment inside the heart, because believe me, this is something that he loves. So I am not using my Scotch quick dry adhesive, or what is it called now? Tacky. My fine line bottle got clogged, and I've actually unclogged it, but I was in a hurry and I didn't reassemble it. If your fine line bottle gets clogged, if you just have to have patience and let it soak in water, and it will unclog itself. But it did take me probably 48 hours just because I just let it soak by itself. So this is where I make my mistake, and I take this darker blue shimmers and I missed that, and it just came out in these big blobs, and I did not like that. So I mopped it up with my paper towel, but it didn't look pretty. So here I am deciding to cut the background out. You know, it was something I could have taken paint and painted over it, but I felt like you'd be able to see it through the layer of paint. I didn't want to, you know, the whites are different, and I didn't feel like doing it. So I had no qualms cutting this out, and I'm just peeling it up from where I sewed the circles down on the layout, and I'm just going to make another background. It probably took me maybe 10 minutes to do this, and I don't care if I waste a sheet of cardstock. I want to be happy with the layout, and I did not like the addition of the blue, and I am not the mixed media goddess like Missy, and I cannot fix that. I couldn't figure out a way, and I was in a hurry, so I just decided that this was the easiest fix for me. So if this happens to you, don't be afraid to try to fix it. If you're going to be looking at that layout and hating it, then it's really no point in putting it in your album. Just make it work for you. So I'm just trimming off a couple of the pieces that were a little bit more difficult for me when I was cutting around the circles, and now I'm going to just take my shimmers again, just like I did before, and spray it on the package, and I'm going to just try to line them up. I don't have to be perfect with this. When you're doing mixed media, if you are trying for perfection, you will not have it, and you probably won't be happy. I know that kind of sounds funny since I just sat there and told you that I hated that dark mist, but to me it's just different. So I'm just trying to line up the colors a little bit, but like I said, they're not going to line up completely. I don't care. It just has a little bit of the mixed media showing in between the circles, which is what I wanted. And it just helps to reinforce what is already underneath the circles. So I hope this maybe inspires someone to just give this a try, because, you know, even if you mess it up, you can fix it just like I did. So I'm just going to go back through and do a couple more sprinkles of mist, but I am not using that dark blue, and I'm just using the three colors, the lighter colors. I had 4 colors pulled out, but the darker blue just is just too dark. It's almost a navy, and I didn't like it on this page. I think because it had so many other darker colors that it felt too heavy. So I am just going to use a lot of ATG tape a little bit more than what I would normally put on it just to adhere it, and I'm just going to reassemble my layout. So that's pretty much it for me. Off camera, I do come back and I add a title. I decided that I didn't really need to journal on this because it just was him with his license, and I've already made a page that has more in-depth journaling about how I just find it crazy that he's driving, and you know how it's hard to watch your firstborn drive off. So I've already dealt with that story. So I just thought that this one with the title of New Driver and all of these little sentiments would be perfect. So if you haven't checked out Mari's video, please do so. I can't wait to see what she comes up with. I did see a sneak peek of her artwork and it is incredibly beautiful. So I really can't wait to see her page. I will link it in the details section below. I hope you guys have enjoyed this and want to tag along with us. We would love to see what you create, if you use the same pieces or if you decide to go on to Pinterest or something like that and find your own. So thanks so much. I will see you soon. I hope you guys have a great day. Take care. Bye.